always had an ambitious approach to it. We call it internally as 10x or moonshots. We try to work on things which, the criteria we think is we want to work on things which people will use every day. It will apply to billions of people, and it solves a real problem for them. So that's the bar. So anything we try to do, we think of it that way. And so we aim high. We try to use deep computer science to anything we approach so that we can have a differentiated approach to solving it. You want to aim high enough that you fail, a few times. I think that's the natural part of the process. In fact, Larry used to say, if you work on really difficult things, you're better off because you have no competition. Others aren't working on that difficult a problem. And even if you fail, you end up doing something great in the process. And so I think that's the philosophy which has guided us all through these years. Working the real world, I would say, it is important to be well-rounded. It's important to, try different things. Take some risks. I would encourage people to follow their passions a little bit more. I think there's a lot of pressure in today's system. As people are approaching things, they are really taking the time to doing things in a deeper way. Understanding things deeper, learning by doing things, and I think it's important to remember it's a long road. Setbacks actually don't matter. Keep your hopes, keep your dreams, and try to follow them. And I think most of how life plays out is up to you, not up to what happens outside of you. And I think it's important to keep that in mind and take the long-term view. When you're trying to run something at the scale of Google, we have now over 60,000 people, and you rely on other strong leaders. I think a lot of what I do is, I have an outstanding leadership team. It's learning to let go and really empowering people, at all levels of the organization, and trusting them to doing the right thing. And as a leader, a lot of your job is to make those people successful. It's less about trying to be successful and more about making sure you have good people, and your work is to remove barriers, remove roadblocks for them, so that they can be successful in what they do. And so that's how I've always thought about it. And I've also valued teamwork quite a bit. And I think it's really important to build organizations where people actually want to work together. Everything comes out of that. So setting up collaborative cultures is another big thing I try to focus on. In the 80s, mid-80s, the personal computers came into being. 10 years later, the internet came into play. 10 years later, smartphones came into play. So in 10 years, things shift around so much. I'm not sure what I'll be doing in 10 years, but the thing which still keeps me going is the desire to build products which will be used by billions of users and makes a difference for them. Hopefully, I still have a chance to do that 10 years from now. Almost always want to feel that all through your life, because that means you're working with people who are very, very good, and and that's really important. So you always, if you feel very comfortable in what you're doing, I don't think you're pushing yourself enough. And so I think you always want to strive to be in environments where you feel the people around you are a little bit better than you are.